begin by asking you, how was America?
America was very well, thank you. Very good. About the same as Japan. Japan was very good as well.
Am I right? I don't know. I hope I am. In saying that you saw some silver domes, which gave you the inspiration for driving Saturday.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things in the desert at night, in the early hours of the morning, on the American trains. American trains are very convincing things. They take you past everywhere that you'd like to see. They take you past military installations and what have you, but they don't in Russia, you see. You don't see anything out your windows at all. I prefer American trains for that. Yes, I saw some domes. All right.
Was that inspiration for driving Saturday?
Yeah. Basically, it was. I played around with the idea of domes as habitat or military installation or industry level. I decided to settle for habitat in that particular song.
The story that I got was that it was driving Saturday is about some people seeing a movie after a nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
And it's revolved around that, is that right?
And they were looking back on all kinds of things, blue films and not blue films and rock films and just people and their feelings and how they used to live, which is something they seem to have lost the art of in this future period that I played around with. As for the musical concept of the thing, it grew within the studio. It started off I played it a few times in America. I played it just acoustically, and it has a certain strength as an acoustic number. But I wanted to change the context of it for record because I don't like hearing myself playing acoustically on record. I'm not very good. And so I had to build it as a machine. I had to get the mechanics of the thing sounding in part as machine-like as possible. That was the use of Moog, mellotron, and tenor sax. Alto sax, I beg your pardon. Alto sax on that, which I played myself. I don't think... And mixed guitar is very strident in it, and we used several speeds of guitar to get the effect in the chorus, which is a very metallic kind of guitar. It's a very cold number, but the album, Aladdin, is a cold album because I found a lot of cold area in America. I'm speaking from an advanced point of view. I think Aladdin possibly supersedes the present age in America by maybe 10 years or something. It's not really just now. I mean, it does link itself to the future. One wants to have some kind of prediction of what it could be like. And that's why it's so cold, because I think America's on a very downhill thing at the moment. It was making itself very apparent once we were there, and it seems to be blossoming as such now.
Yeah. Panic in Detroit seems to be another American type conception, yes?
Yeah. That was very, again, I'm very influenced by things. Iggy and Iggy's Crowd influenced me a lot on that one. He used to knock around with a lot of people like the MC5 and all those herbs. And he's an herb himself. I like a good herb. He's a good egg, is Iggy. I enjoyed being around him, and I liked his talk and his Nietzschean ideas. His totally destructive outlook. Positively inhumane. The next person who would warrant being a Hitler. Iggy's the one. And it did affect me as such, and it brought about panic, which is, I think, fairly self-explanatory as a song. It's just my personal opinion of revolution as being pointless. That it only brings about more bloodshed, but it's essential. Revolution is pointless, but yet essential.
Can we turn now to Prettiest Star?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Prettiest Star is a very old song written about Russia's lady over there. It's my lady. Angie, 4 years ago? It was about 4 years ago, very soon after we met. And I always intended doing it properly one day. Not that I did it properly once upon a time. I did it beautifully, in fact, with the help of Tony Visconti and Mark Bolan, as you know, is a very close friend of mine. And it really is. I don't think we both know that. And Mark played a fabulous riff on it, which we took and repeated the same riff this time around. It's one of the nicest things he's ever played. And Tony's production was excellent. But, you see, I'm going around in circles. Rehearsal was really left me shattered. What, in fact, happened, we lost the tapes. We moved office and we lost a lot of tapes in transit, a lot of older original stuff, which disappointed us. And I'm gradually redoing it all because there were compositions contained in that stuff that I really wanted to save. And I was most of all, I'm very disappointed that we lost it. And Pretty Star is the first of the old batch. I will do more in future.
If we can talk once again about the overall concept of the album.
Originally, the title was Aladdin Sane. Again, the same kind of pun, but I found it too depressive, because one likes to think there is a spark of optimism for this good old brown thing that we all live on. And Aladdin Sane was really a bit too depressive. What I was trying to capture was this present period, which is this very supposedly debauched, decadent kind of glam thing that's really now nutty and mod. And relate it to any period which comes before any kind of catastrophe, which it always happens like this. There's this awful kind of milling around. It's like West Berlin. West Berlin, in fact, is the epitome of what's happening. There they are, Borsels, in the middle of nowhere with east all around them. I mean, north, south, east and west is all east, and there's just no compass point. And they've been thrown into this thing, and it's always as though tomorrow's going to never come, and tonight is the last night of the world. I mean, that's the feeling, and everybody's totally mad. Very glamorous, I must say, but, you know, who needs it? And that's the kind of feeling that I wanted to get over in Aladdin Sane, on that particular track, anyway.
Finally, David, can I ask you about the plans for Russia?
That's a very tricky thing. I would like to think that we could play there. I don't know of any rock bands that have, in fact, performed in Russia. One worries about culture shock and that kind of thing. If in fact we did play over there, I know for a fact, I was wearing these kind of, you know, jeans and everything, and just a little yellow leather jacket, and that caused such commotion that one wonders exactly. The sound of a rock band live is pretty formidable to the ears of someone who's never ever seen a rock band before. But maybe they've heard it on radio and stuff, so they've got some kind of insight. But when they've never ever heard anything like that before, or seen it, especially us, if they've never looked Avada or whatever it looked like, I mean, it's going to freak them completely.
What about acoustically? Could you go over on your own?
That's the other way we think we could do it. I think we may could mix the string thing. He's really into strings.
Yeah.
And string-driven thing, there's a flag. Good plan.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very nice to take maybe an 8-piece string section and acoustic guitars and just play material as material. But I just hate performing like that because I don't get a kick out of it. But maybe it would be different in Rush's case because it's new ground and something that maybe... Oh, I don't know. It's very difficult. We'll have to make up our minds whether we're really going to, ask loudly if we can play there. Because we have some ideas on how we can ask loudly. And we'll do it if we feel that we could really do it properly. And not cause too much of, some kind of awful thing to happen.
David Bowie there talking with Steve Dickson and music from David's album Aladdin Sane.